welcome to the Lighthouse, and for our Friday session. Take this moment right away to get comfortable wherever it is that you are seated and come into the present moment. We've covered a ton of terrain this week. It always amazes me the conceptual bandwidth and the sort of technical bandwidth that we can cover in just the few days of a week in these gatherings. So coming into this moment, close your eyes, place one hand on your belly and one hand on your heart, as we commonly do, and come into your breath, recognizing that you are a pioneer in your heroic journey. You are the pioneer of your heroic journey of embodying awakening in the marketplace. Even when we're cloistered in our homes here in this modern world and in this modern way, we're still in the marketplace through the portal of our screens. And because we're on the path of awakening, it's important to take time regularly, and we do this kind of work oftentimes on Fridays, to take time to tune in around things like forgiveness. And so I want you to use this moment to be for the greatest act of giving, which is forgiving. So forgiving yourself for whatever kind of, cramps you may have inflicted upon yourself. On this path and in this way, we have to forgive ourselves 1,000 times or more, over and over and over again. So here we are in a new day. Here we are in a new moment. Take a deep breath, exhaling, and then inhaling again.
Voices math book goes to disconnected.
No, it should be connected. We have a little technical glitch there for a moment. That's okay. These speakers are really good on this computer. I'm not going to mess with the glitch of the disconnect there. So I want to introduce, before we do the practices, I want to introduce a concept. It's a sort of tandem concept that I've held close to for many years in my internal awakening process. And these are Tibetan concepts, the first of which has to do with what they call drip. So the drip is, they're the leaks in the boat, and they're all of the ways that we're losing our energy. So it could be, the mess that you haven't cleaned up. It could be a sort of absence of accountability in some way, shape, or form. It could be fixing something that's broken that needs your attention that you've been ignoring. It could be doing something that you've postponed, or not doing something that you keep postponing. It could be the need to apologize and you haven't showed up to apologize. It could be drip, could be the need to throw away some sort of like secret stash of food or something that is keeping you from being really fully, vibrantly alive here now. So the drip, we've all got some kind of drip in our life, or maybe we've got a lot of drips in our life. No matter which way the cards fall, we have to give our attention. We have to sort of finance the transformation of our drip in order to get into what they call the Windhorse energy. So think of the horse who is on the open tundra and running free of obstacles, in the direction of the unknown, in the direction of how the future is calling it. This is the Windhorse energy. So every time that we take time to meditate, we're feeding our Windhorse energy and we're clearing up some corner of drip in our life. Meditation does that for us, but I want to really invite you to kind of hold that in your awareness over the weekend and be attentive to what drips are really calling you. And if you feel pressurization around a drip, it typically means that it's time to take care of it. So pay attention to the drips that need to be cleared up and thereby feed your Windhorse energy. So we're going to start with a glandular reset practice. So you're going to curl your index, middle, ring, and pinky fingers into the center of the palm, and you're going to outstretch the thumbs. And then you're going to extend the arms up at a big, broad V, like so. So in yesterday's practice, and I think even in the day before's practice, I was really kind of chanting down this vision and this reality that we can reprogram just about anything, right? And so as we do this glandular reset practice, we're reprogramming the way our glandular system is showing up for us. So it's secreting the nectars that we need versus the poisons that our bodies are capable of producing and that we want less of, so that we can have that transparency on the path of awakening in this modern day marketplace of a world that we're in. Okay, so looking at the tip of the nose, working with the breath of fire, have some pressurization in the way that the thumbs are pointed in. And let's do this for the next couple of moments. So keep the eyes open. They're about 1/10 of the way open. And every time you exhale, you're pulling your abs in, which is capacitating the detoxification processes that we're really interested in having on board all the time. So let's do the thing. Good, and then break the practice. So similarly, we're going to take the arms up. We're going to break the mudra, so the arms will go up, and then the arms will go down. And you're going to hit, if you were in yesterday's meditation, we were doing a similar thing where we were breaking the shell of habituation. So that's what's happening here. So up and then down. So raising the energy of freedom, raising the energy of awakening in your body so that you can feed the wind horse. Keep this practice going even while I'm talking to you. What are ways that we can feed the wind horse? By, yes, clearing up the drip like I was talking about a moment ago. It could also be, dressing nicely all day, even if you're working from home. It could be practicing follow through. It could be doing your meditation, which you're here doing. And so I'm really thankful for that and proud of you and congratulating you. It could be giving a little bit of extra time to showing up for somebody who needs you. It could be making a green smoothie. It could be drinking water. It could be when you're faced with a problem, to expand and to remember that there are infinite possibilities instead of coming at it from habituation or coming at it from a restricted mind state. Keep it going. Up and then down, up and then down, up and then down. Opening the compass of the heart. Remember, I've been saying this a lot this week, where your heart is, your mind is. Where your mind is, your energy is. And where your energy is, that's where your power is. Three, two, and one. Good. Bring the hands in front of your lower dantian. And resting in quiet beingness. In yesterday's teachings, I was talking about the second bird, right? So we have within us two little birds. We have the bird that is busy as all get out all the time, building the nest, doing the job, getting distracted with the world of 10,000 things. And the second bird is the observer. So attempt as you feed your wind horse. So we've got wind horse energy and we've got this bird energy as well. Attempt to be in your innate observer, in your witness consciousness, which doesn't involve thinking, it doesn't involve comparison, it doesn't involve judgment. Being as you are, resting here now as you are, even if you're in the midst of some dynamic meditation, resting in the reality of what is, not what you think should be, not what you think could be, but resting in what is, and then letting that be your very activated point of departure. So you're going to make a mudra with your right hand. You're going to fuse the index and middle fingers, and you're going to fuse the ring and pinky fingers, and then extend the thumb out. And then you're going to bend the the index, middle, and ring fingers of the left hand, and you're going to plug that into the docking station of your brow center. The pinky will be out at parallel to the floor, and the thumb will be up, perpendicular to your ceiling. So you've got a right angle. You've got this going on. So this is a beautiful configuration of tandem mudras. They're going to help you to do what we're focusing upon today, which is to clear up the corners of drip and to feed the wind horse. So before we actually move into the breathing, come into the alert discernment that you've already begun to awaken, even in just these first couple of practices, into the alert discernment, which is in some ways kind of energy of the tiger, right? So we've got the bird, we've got the horse, we've got the tiger. Alert discernment, the observer. So same thing, just stick with this hyper-oxygenating wind horse breath for another moment here. Good. Break the practice. So this next practice is the Sat Kriya practice. This is a beautiful old practice. These are some of the integrative practices, classics that we've been tending to yesterday and today. These are really, really good practices to keep in your tool belt at all times, so that, you know, before you start the day or before you kind of throw down the next dance move in the show of your life, that you've you've cleaned out the pipes, you've cleaned the fort of your mind with this good work. So you've got a new mudra that you're going to make. You're going to conjoin the index fingers. You're going to cross, men will cross the right thumb on top, and women will cross the left thumb on top. So accordingly, do that. And then you're going to just fold down the middle ring and pinky fingers like so. You're going to press the base of the palms together, and you're going to preserve a felt sense. You've got that little bit of void space between the palms, as if you're holding something meaningful, holding something precious. And what you're holding on to is a relationship to the void. This is one of the most important relationships that we can have. Having a relational dynamic, an elevated relationship with the void. Not, filling up every empty space really fast with something or some chore or some kind of busyness, but being able to cultivate and preserve emptiness. So that's what this mudra is about. And then you're going to take the arms up and you're going to squeeze the side of the head a little bit with the upper arms just behind the ears, if your anatomy will allow you to do so. If not, just have the arms up like I'm demonstrating right here. So squeeze the side of the head without pulling your elbows. I'm sorry, not your elbows. Without pulling your shoulders up towards the earlobes. So keep the shoulders down on the field of your back as you do this. So we're going to work with the sound meditation of this mantra, Sat Nam, which means that your truth, that your nature is truth. Your core frequency is truth. So every time you sound a sat, you're going to be pulling the abs in. So your abs should be loose and they should be available and they should be willing, right? Because we've already done the initiatory practices. Every time you do the sat, pull it in. And every time you sound the nam, the abs will relax out. So sat nam, sat nam. We're going to hang out in this for a little bit. I'm just going to restart this track so that we can stay in the same melodic groove. So sit up nice and straight. Make the mudra if you haven't already. Right thumb for the men on top, left thumb for the women on top. Make the press, a little pressurization on the skull, okay? And look down at the tip of the nose, eyes are 1/10 of the way open, shoulders down on the broad field of your back. Sat Nam, 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 sut, 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 nam. 3, 2, and 1. Close the practice and let the hands alight upon the tops of the knees. It's really good to make a habit out of doing this kind of stuff for yourself. Your habits, if you make a habit out of this, this is what changes the way you think, it changes the way you look, it changes the way all of your systems are working individually, and it changes the rapid intercommunication of all the systems within you. It changes your capacity to reprogram situations or circumstances in your life, and it positions you so that you're not just surviving, but you're thriving, right? And remember that your habits steer your character. And your habits and your character are where you're going. It's where you're headed. It's who you're always becoming. So be evolutionally minded in that way every time you sit down and show up to do this kind of meditative work. So we're going to do yet another mudra. This is called Sanmukhi Mudra, and you're going to be closing the gates in your face. And then we're going to be working with another sound meditation that's called Brahmari, which means the bee's breath. So as you begin to sound the Brahmari, and here in a moment, and I'll demonstrate it for you, you very well might have the sonic experience like you are in the hive. It's really a profound internal sound experience that gets in there and cleans up a lot of the densities that are lurking around and causing you to feel like you're in the fog, that are causing you to feel dissociated, that are maybe causing you to stay stuck in the drip, okay? You do this work and then you soar like the Windhorse across the tundra, free and wild, unhinged, unabashed, unabandoned wildness in the direction of what's calling you. Okay, so here's the mudra. You're going to bring the pinky finger underneath. Just watch for a second. Pinky finger underneath the bottom lip. Ring finger to the top lip. Not on the lip, but above the lip. The middle finger is on the bridge of the nose. You're not obstructing the airways in any way. The index finger will come to the innermost corner of the eye, and then the thumbs are going to seal the tabs of the ears. So this, in and of itself, is going to create that sound experience like you're submerged in a body of water, and you are a body of water, and you are purifying the body of water that is your human organism. That's why when we get done with doing a lot of these kinds of practices, we feel like a piece of quartz crystal oftentimes, right? Like the eyes are bright. The way we're seeing is so bright. So this is what you do with the face and the hands. And then the Brahmari sounds like this. Listen, you're going to hear a lot of diversification in my sound, and it's simply because I'm moving my tongue inside of my mouth. So you want to hit as many different sound currents as you possibly can while doing the Brahmari. Have a listen. Okay, so your expression of one wave of sound could be really brief and it could be really elongated depending on what your breath capacity allows for. So what I want us to do, and it's a little bit harder to keep track of this when we're practicing remotely like this and we're not all in the same room, but I'd like for you to do 9 rounds, which means that we're going to all end probably at different points because of our breath capacity. But do 9 rounds of it. So you inhale, and then as you exhale, that's when you're creating the soundscape, okay? Really be inside of this temple terrain of your mind and in your heart. Really be in your observer, witness consciousness as you do the 9 rounds. So let's begin. Pinkies below the bottom lip, ring fingers above the top lip, middle fingers to the bridge of the nose, index finger to the innermost corner of the eye, and then the thumbs are going to come to the tab of the ears. Press in. May the force be with you. Enjoy the practice. So my guess is that you're probably done at this point with the 9 rounds. So in closing, let's take a moment to really tune in to a most wakeful arrival in this cosmic address of our human bodies. So close your eyes and let your awareness drop down into your belly. Just stay really soft, stay so in the moment. And if you like, you can put a hand on your belly or both hands on your belly and allow your breath to sink down, to drop down, having patience with any need that may still be there to push the breath here or there. Just let it drop, because it can and it will. And letting go of any remaining holding patterns that may be in your abdomen, in the same way that you would relax a tight fist, or in the same way that a flower blooms elegantly and effortlessly, letting go of the fist, opening to the blossom and the flow, and inviting your breath even deeper yet into your belly. And feeling into what is surrounding you, feeling into any of the colors that you may be receiving, any of the shadow and the light and the space that you're sitting in, and how that's impulsing you tuning into any sounds, any of the movements that are around you. Tuning into what might be attracting you, what's feeling possible in your space. Bringing your awareness even deeper now into the whole of your body. And feel now the surface of your body and the surroundings around your body. And feel how you're receiving the sights and the sounds and the smells and the movement and the shadow and the light. All of the sensations, you're receiving them from the inside of you as the observer. Receiving them. Experiencing the inside of you as the outside of you at the same time. And receiving awareness itself, expanding and relaxing into the timeless immensity of your own beingness, into the Sat Nam, which we were attending to moments ago. Receiving from all directions and experiencing from the inside out and out in all directions. Experiencing all dimensions at the same time. And feel yourself positioned with character and nobility and dignity at the crossroad. We find ourselves at the crossroad every time we complete a meditation session of some kind. And to just recap what we've tuned into for today, this business of cleaning up the drips in our life, one corner at a time, and the exciting task of feeding the Windhorse. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you feel really alive and really inspired and also really quiet and still and patient and capable of bringing to life and mobilizing whatever feels most meaningful for you. I look forward to seeing you next week. Take really good care, drink lots of water, Sat Nam, and Namaste.